So Anik, one of the things we investigated within this focused research on life sciences and sustainability is, what's the spectrum or the maturity of different firms within that ecosystem? So we have at Everest Group, and people watching this will not be surprised, we have our own framework to measure where a market is in terms of sustainability and their maturity in investments. And when we put that to life sciences, there were a couple of interesting findings, which people can see here. So we have this 4-point framework in terms of level 1, are you a socially responsible firm? To level 2, which are you doing this just to mitigate risk? To true sustainability enablement across your organization, scope 1, 2, and 3 and beyond, as well as to this holy grail of being ultimately a purpose-driven firm. We have done this in different markets. We've applied this to banks. We've applied this to financial services firms, oil and gas companies, and so on. But when you put this to life sciences, was there something that's surprising that emerged?
Hi, Nitish. I won't say surprising per se, but it's something that is coming out gradually. Is that if you see at the environmental initiatives, there have been some firm commitments from the organizations in the past couple of decades. But when you come to the second column, there have been a lot of talks, probably less of action that have come up now post-pandemic, and in the last couple of years, we are seeing these talks turning into actions, where we see life sciences organizations talking about developing drugs for new therapies, taking drugs to the underrepresented communities or to the areas where it's not present. So they're talking about medicine equity, fair pricing, and taking health infrastructure or drugs and medicines to different geographies across the world. So now these actions can be seen more than it was seen before. That's where I see the ball rolling in the second column of this framework.
Got it. That's really interesting, because I think this will especially be true or more needed for new and novel therapies, where the technology and the science is accelerating to the point that we have very emerging cures, hopefully in the oncology field and other fields as well. But one of the bottlenecks for patients to access this, especially in the underserved communities, is really the cost, where some of these medicines can cost up to $300,000, $400,000. Not just during the lifetime, but sometimes annually. So what life sciences firms are doing in trying to reduce that barrier through innovative payment models, pricing models, rebates will be really important, and brings this whole aspect of medicine and health equity to the forefront. This is really interesting. I think the other way I've seen clients now use this and firms use this is almost use this as a diagnostic or being a mirror to themselves, where they can look at this framework, which is fairly detailed. And this is, by the way, just a small snapshot of the initiatives we collected in this engagement. But what life sciences firms and clients are now doing is taking this and using this almost like a checklist, like a diagnostic, to see where they are in that ecosystem and where they are in that 4-point journey. And then also understand, what does good look like? What does that eventual journey to being a purpose-driven firm look like? And what are the next steps they can take? And what are the learnings they can take from their competitors and peers? So I think this is a great framework. So Anik, thanks for spending time with us today. And I look forward to more conversations on this important topic.
Thanks, Nitish. Same here.